6:30. It's a public hearing, the second of two public hearings for a zoning change request from Kenneth Porter for the approximately 2.82 acres in Venus, Texas, Johnson County, located at 109 West Highway 67. It's from a commercial to planned development. So we're here to hear from the public. Who would like to speak first?
No one signed up.
No one signed up to speak. Well, okay. Let's have the developers come up here and maybe give us any updates or possible, just a description of what we're going to do. I think we pretty well went over it last time.
Yeah, I'm Tony Drake. I'm the project developer working with Kenny. We're still, nothing's changed. We're still wanting to do exactly what we presented.
Sir, can I just go to the table, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
We're still wanting to do the liquor store building, and then the second phase will be the strip center with the apartments above, which calls for the planned development to split.
Under the first phase, will you do all the concrete work?
I'm gonna do about 85% of it. We'll do all the parking lot basically, and of course where the slab goes for phase two,
We'll wait to do that.
Yes.
Well, does any of the council have any questions?
I do.
Yes, this is right here, Anchor Estates, is that correct? Or is this the one?
No, this is the one behind Mobile One.
Okay.
Where the liquor store and the strip shopping center with the apartments below, 16 apartments. This is what this is.
And my understanding is there going to be a road to go through there to Brookshire's brother?
Yeah, well, we have a common drive already with Brookshire, so that's how we get in. The road will go all the way around the development.
Okay.
And then, the Exxon's agreed to, Victron, the Exxon's agreed to let us do open up the driveway between the Exxon Whataburger and this project.
Okay, so everybody was okay with that?
Yes. I built the Exxon Whataburger also a long time ago.
The water and sewer there, I know there's a lot of business going on. I mean, there's a lot of, like Whataburger, the gas station, Mobile, Brookshire. I know Rocus is not here, Caesar, so he may be the one that could answer this, but do we have the right size of pipe for the waste water for all that development?
Hopefully Caesar will be here in a little bit and he can answer that because I can't.
Okay, that would be my concern.
We have a water looping grant that's going to be coming through this next year, and that's going to increase the size of those lines all the way around that side of the city. So I believe it's moving into a 6-inch line from whatever it is right now. So that should increase capacity for that rezoning.
All right. And right now, that's the only questions I have.
Ms. Scott, do you have anything?
Kind of a little late, I'm kind of blindsided. I don't have any questions, y'all will catch me up, I'm sure.
If you have anything, as we go along, just let me know.
Okay.
What we're doing is trying to rezone
Denny?
property behind Mobile One.
That's what we were asking last month, right?
It's the same one we had last month, just second,
I think you answered all my questions last month.
second hearing, second required hearing, public hearing on it.
Well, I'm here and I'm available.
Okay,
Anything
well, thank
you
you.
want to ask.
Thank you. Right now, that property is zoned what now?
Commercial.
Commercial.
And we're going from commercial to planned development because under commercial zoning, they couldn't have the apartments.
Oh,
Under planned developments, they can have either or both.
Okay.
If I can make one comment about planned development.
Yes, sir.
The planned development, if y'all approve it, can't change. In other words, if we're not asking for split zoning, plan development, then whatever we have approved here will be what we have to build.
Right.
Unless we come back.
You get some type of variances. Dr. Warner, you have?
I'm learning. Just here for information.
I think we learn every day something. I believe we gotta hang in for at least 15 minutes, so.
The railroad company, they ain't got nothing, no say so over this?
Up to their right of way, that's their right of way, they do.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes,
because
sir.
I know railroad companies right there, butted up.
They received a letter, but they chose not to respond.
Oh, okay.
They ain't so.
Railroad.
Not the railroad.
Brochures.
That's all right, they'll teach us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will.
And that's where they want to be.
Mr. Walton, anything you'd like to add to this?
Behind.
Usually, you're a wealth of
That's
information.
a good thing about it.
I signed up for the next session, but I would comment as,
Okay, well, come forward, this is a public hearing.
name is J.D. Clockton, I live in the ETJ.
Yes, sir.
Your lawyer don't think I have jurisdiction or standing to really come up here, but I think I do. I'm sorry.
Always happy to hear your ideas.
I know that he really thinks I don't
He's
have
not here,
standing.
so just go ahead.
Okay, but anyway, I think the developer's doing a good job by getting, looks like they're, as a retired civil engineer, professional engineer, they're preparing the site, getting the grade up, because that's in a floodplain area. That Brushy Creek runs between Councilman Granite's property and that.
Yes, sir, but that area where they're raising.
It's in the front, it's outside the main floodplain, but I like the way they're.
That's not what we're discussing here tonight.
That's not the property where the two culverts are.
That's not what we're discussing here tonight.
No,
It's only right behind Mobile One, between Mobile One and the
Okay.
Brookshire, that land area.
Okay, I'm familiar with that one also. That's where we had a hotel that I spoke on. We didn't go through it.
Yes, sir, I remember.
Remember the hotel?
Yes, I remember.
I think
That's still a little further over, because that land where the hotel was is on the west side of Brookshire. This land is on the east side of Brookshire, behind Mobile One and next to Exxon.
I don't know what it shows. I think it would be, any development like this would be good for the city as an engineer retired. Because it would help our tax base, it would help our school district, and I think it would be in the right direction.
Well, thank you.
As long as it's engineered, and I can see that you have city engineers, so.
So we have several city engineers, that deals with the sewer, the plumbing, the architectural, construction, drainage, so
I
they
can't
all
remember.
specialize in their field, so we're gonna
Wife
make
and
this done
I
right.
speak from experience. The wife and I came here at 71. That's 45, about 45 years ago. And the thing I've noticed that that's what's hurt this little town, is they can't come to grips with good sound development here. And consequently, and it's from this place right here, where people are scared to invest money here. If they can't get it, but I think it would be the right direction, and I would really support the mayor and the council on that.
Mr. Clifford?
Yes.
That's Waterburger, that's Mobile One. Okay, this is Butcher's, this is the area right here.
Yes, okay, yes.
That's
The
what the hotel
hotel,
was gonna be back here.
okay. That's still a commercial type area, so I think it's still be okay.
Yeah, that's what it's talking about right here.
And I wouldn't want a liquor store near a school, like Dr. Warner's here. We wouldn't want that in so many fields, so there's no schools here.
It's about on 67.
Don't have a problem. Thank you, Councilman. So I would support it.
Thank you, sir. What do you think about it, Joe? Still got 5 minutes.
That's third reading.
4 minutes. Kind of up to speed on trees now. Any questions? As soon as they get them built.
I know, right?
Yeah, they might even let you put a deposit in tonight.
Checkbook. Wait, I forgot my learning checkbook.
I got sure. They may not like your deposit, but you can borrow mine. What did I say? I'm gonna ask you a question. Had nothing to do with this. If there's no further comment on this public hearing, I'm going to adjourn this public hearing at 6:45. Meeting of the Venus City Council to order at 7 o'clock. If anyone that hasn't, that would like to speak during the public comment section, needs to sign up right now. And invocation. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight, thanking you for all our many blessings. We ask you to be with this council and give us guidance as we lead this city into the future. We also ask you to be with the family of the fallen officers in Dallas. Give them your grace and comfort as they go through the grieving process. We ask you to be with the officers and the family of the injured. Give them strength and help them heal mentally and physically. We ask you to be with all our first responders, police, fire, and EMS. We ask you to be with our servicemen and women around the world. We ask all this in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Ms. Glenn, will you do roll call for me, please?
Certainly, sir. Councilmember Prazak.
Present.
Councilmember Wood.
Present.
Councilmember Tolan Scott.
Present.
Councilmember Hernandez.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Davey.
Present.
And Mr. Mayor.
Present.
We have a quorum, sir.
Thank you. Announcements and presentations by the mayor. Cell phones will be turned off and placed on vibrate. Silent only. No conversations or comments from the audience is permitted unless specifically called upon by the mayor. Please remain respectfully quiet. I have a couple of other items. I'd like to thank the chief of police for accepting my request to serve as interim city administrator while we go through the process of hiring a new one. I'd like to thank one of our council members, Ms. Jeannie Prazak, and her daughter Shelley, and I know there was others that were involved, hanging the blue ribbons around the square and around town, even some personal houses, and shows great support for our police and unity. I know it's a comfort to the police when they're driving around on patrol to see that. We had a prayer service out here Friday evening at 5:30, and I was quite impressed with the turnout. I think it was quite lethargic and healing for a lot of our citizens. I know it helped our police department to know that there was that great support, and we had a prayer vigil for the officers in Dallas, and we were all grateful for the turnout. I know that some people couldn't make it because they hadn't got home from work yet, but there was still a substantial turnout, so I was really happy about that. So, moving on to the citizen public comment period. How many do we got signed up? One, Mr. Clarkson. You know the drill. You got 5 minutes, sir, from the time you start speaking. No personal attacks on any.
I have a handout I might approach to hand out before I start.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry for the time. And you kind of know. My name is John Benjamin Kaufman Jr. I reside at 810 South FM 157, which is in the city's ETJ. I want to speak with you briefly about 2 subjects. One is The handout I gave you, I don't need to speak on it, it speaks for itself, on open records. That's to bring you up to date on that, from the county attorney. The remainder of my 5 minutes, I wanted to talk to you all a little bit about ethics policy, and I have a write-up from Councilman Arlen Mazzani from Keller, and he published this in the Empire Central. Okay, and I'm going to quote it from his write-up. When I first ran for Keller City Council in November 2014, I was motivated by what I felt was a lack of communication, transparency, and accountability from town hall. Effective representation at any level of government requires our elected officials to conduct themselves at the highest possible standard. As many Texans know, honesty, integrity, fairness, and transparency have been and will always be the hallmarks of good public service, no matter which side of the political spectrum you side on. Although simply passing some resolution or crafting some ethics policy doesn't accomplish maintaining and restoring public confidence in local government, doing so is an important step in the process. I was proud my colleagues on council at the monthly debate and discussion were able to recognize this. Getting to this, however, was no easy task. One of the most common criticisms we hear from elected officials at the municipal level who reject the idea of enacting an ethics policy or code of conduct is based on the theory that when they take an oath of office, the act itself is a show that the individual will conduct him or herself in accordance with the state law. In addition, some also point to the state's local government code, which regulates conflicts of interest as a justification that local municipalities don't need their own policy in place. I wholeheartedly and unapologetically disagree with this assessment, and here's why. In our daily lives and places of businesses, we are expected to conduct ourselves and adhere to a certain code of ethics. Many cities place this requirement on city staff, including our very own police and fire personnel. These same expectations should be different for the elected officials who have been entrusted with the responsibility of overseeing taxpayer money, or like the city of Keller, a $79 million budget. An ethics policy at the municipal level is absolutely necessary to maintain and improve our quality of life and provide citizens with a mechanism to effectively keep their government in check. Mr. Mayor, is my 5 minutes up?
You got a minute, 30 seconds.
Okay. I believe I can conclude. It's 2 more paragraphs. The ethics policy I helped introduce in Keller, there's Mr. Mazzani, specifically covers conflicts of interest and the wrongful acceptance of gifts. In contrast to the local government code drafted by legislators in Austin, our policy is brief, to the point, and easy for any constituent to read and understand. It identifies what a conflict of interest is, and when a city official may or may not accept a gift. It provides for a clear and unmistakable recusal process, and it provides sanctions and penalties for city officials who violate the policy. Lastly, the policy allows for the creation of an independent ethics panel that will review any real complaint. This last distinction is arguably one of the most important justifications local municipalities to have their own ethics policy, in that it, in contrast to the local government code, where a court ruling is required. An independent ethics panel can provide a fair and timely hearing on the matter without unnecessary judicial delay. Although the policy passed in Keller isn't a perfect document, thank you for the attention.
Hate to cut you off, but the time is up. appreciate it. That was the only one, then we will, public comments, we will move on to the next agenda item, the consent agenda. Consent agenda, all matters listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the city council and will be acted upon by one motion. There will not be separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Under the consent agenda, we have approval of the minutes of the June 13, 2016 regular city council meeting and public hearing, and ratify the payment of bills for the month of June 2016. Does anybody have anything that they would like to consider separately? If not, I'll open the floor for a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Beatty, and a second.
I'll second the motion.
Second by Councilwoman Prazak. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed? Motion carries. Items for individual consideration. Discussion and consider approval of request from Kenneth Porter for approximately 2.82 acres in Venus, Texas, Johnson County, located at 109 West Highway 67, from commercial to planned development. Now, we've had 2 public hearings on this. Does the council have any additional questions or comments? If not, I'll open the floor for a motion to change this location from commercial to planned development.
I'll make the motion to change the location from commercial to plant development.
Motion made by Councilman Hernandez, second.
I'll second it.
Second by Councilwoman Scott. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries. Discussion and consider approval of final plat of extraordinary jurisdiction of the city of Venus, Johnson County, Texas, TP Barn Survey 825, Johnson County, Texas, for the landowner Stephen Cruz. Is that yours?
It's all part of it.
Okay.
I've got all the plat agreement.
Explain to us exactly what, this is similar to what we did
Exactly,
for him, a
yes,
few
sir.
months ago. We are just approving a final plat for this area. Have you already started building the other home?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's almost done. I have a smaller copy.
Okay, thank you.
Could you state your name for the rest?
Stephen Cruz. And this is all the larger copies that were requested.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Isn't this located out off 109?
211.
211?
Yes.
So this just have the one single house on it?
Yes, sir.
Since this is in our ETJ, all we have approved is just the plat. They'll follow all county building rules and regulations.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Where exactly this is?
It's at 1807 and 211.
Okay, but
See, I'm sure where 1807 to 11 is?
no.
It is.
Service road next to the prison. 211's not.
Yeah, County Road 213, County Road 211, 1807, both of those run almost, they run parallel up to 1807. All we're building is all 211.
So we're over there by prison?
Not too far.
Not too far, a little further over and up. Right.
Going to our
Or that way, a little further over that way.
It's
Frank,
not-
but
Frank Gonzalez live?
Pretty much.
It would be that first street
That's
after you leave the
213,
prison and go right, go towards Alvaredo's, that first road, right?
That's too.
That's 211.
No, that's 213, it's
What you're
two
talking
roads
about is
down.
213.
Oh, it's across the street, okay.
There's two roads down on the north side of it,
Okay,
of
thank you.
1807. I just bring up the maps, bring up the satellite.
Okay, thanks. Now you just show me. Or get my 10-month-old grandson to show me.
Mhm.
But, so, is there any questions?
So you have to have already public, hearing on these?
We don't
Or
Don't have to, but it's not a zoning change. It's just a approval of a plat. It's not even in our city limits, on our ATJ, which all we have authority over is platting. All the buildings and construction and everything under the county rules and regulations. Anything? You good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, if there's no more questions or comments, I'll open the floor to approve the plat for this area.
I make a motion to approve the final plan of the extraterritorial jurisdiction of the P.B. Bond Survey, A-35.
Have a motion by Councilwoman Krayzak, have a second? Second by Councilman Wood. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries.
That's your copy.
You can give them to her in case she, I'll give them after.
Yeah, I'll give them time for you. Just a second.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, you want to put my file? Okay, then next we have discussion, consider approval of Liquor Depot 67 final construction plans as approved by the city engineer.
No, they were not able to get their final plat.
They won't able to get them all done, so we'll just take no action on that tonight, and then
Next month we'll figure it out.
we'll try to pick it up next month, okay?
I'll get it.
Discuss and consider approval of the final contract and amendments with Mountain Peak Special Utility District to provide sewer billing for the customers in the Patriot Estates residential subdivision. Yes, since we're redoing this, and I know you highlighted everything, but can you give us an overview of what has changed?
Absolutely, Mayor. We approved at the last month's meeting the agreement with Mountain Peak to do utility billing. They approved it at their July 5th meeting, and they made a couple changes, and I've highlighted those for you. In section 1, the agency section, they added the word limited agent. That means that they don't have full authority to act as our agent on anything else besides the billing, which is pretty good edit on their part. And then sole purposes of billing means that they limit their agency just to the billing. And then the word who and form were added just because they were missing before. I think they intended those before. The other changes are that there was a typo towards on page 4 of 5. If you look at item 11, the typesetting actually added a number 12 to the last line, and so it changed the numbers. Those sections had not been changed, but for that one little number in front of it. So those were the only changes, nothing substantive. They've already approved it. We just need to approve the contract as amended by Mountain Peak.
So the amount of 8% didn't change?
The money hasn't changed, the details haven't changed. except for those small amendments. I went through line by line.
Does the council have any questions or comments on the changes of this?
It should also be noted, Caesar and the staff, we were talking before the meeting, it's gonna be a process. This isn't gonna happen like this month. It'll probably be 3 months before we can get this done. Caesar said that Marla has educated him that we need to send a notice first, to everyone out there, letting them know that this is gonna happen 1 month, and then the second month is we've gotta close their accounts with our system, with Encode, and then during that process also open their accounts with Mountain Peak, and then the third month we'll be implementing that new thing. Chief, interim city administrator, and I agree that we should probably pay that $1,500 and any other fees that we have to pay to them now, even though it may take 3 months, so that we can use it in this budget year. And just get that big chunk of expense done.
When we close all their accounts out, do we have to reimburse them their deposit, and then they'll have to redo it to Mountain Peak?
That is a Marla question, Mayor. Marla's going to be doing all of that, and how they do that, I don't know, but I think those issues are going to be dealt with. Kathy and Chief Baker are working on that with Marla. Because in Encode, I think when we close those accounts out, it'll probably show a reduction in the deposits, so we'll have to go ahead and fix that. And I don't know how Mountain Peak's going to do that. But the cool thing is, after that 3-month period, they will be collecting for those accounts, and they will be also.
I guess that brings up another question. So when we get new housing out there and they open up an account, they'll open it all up in Mountain Peak, correct?
That's correct, yes.
So when they put the deposit down, does Mountain Peak keep all the deposits under this contract?
They will collect the money, but it'll still be the city's money if they close that account. Because remember, the purpose of the deposit is to secure the account, right? Yeah. And if they close their account with them, they'll refund the money just like we would. If they moved or they, switched to a different person or something like that.
That's true. That's all the questions I have. Anybody have any additional questions? Well, if there's no additional questions or comments, I'll open the floor to approve the amended contract with Mountain Peak Water District.
I'll make a motion to approve the amended by Mountain Peak.
Have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Dady to approve the amended contract with Mountain Peak. Second by Ms. Scott, all in favor? All in favor, none opposed. We'll make sure. Number 7, discussion of the realtor of the city-owned suite on Town Square at 114 West 2nd Street, Venus, Texas, with retail business restrictions. Is there anybody here that wants to speak to that?
Nobody's here that I know of.
There's like 4 people that would show interest, but no one showed up.
I
So.
like to talk to Tony on Saturday. You can say something.
Well, we will take no action on that until we have somebody interested enough to show up. Discussion and consider approval of an interlocal corporate agreement with Johnson County concerning an officer child safety fee. Chief, you want to handle this one?
Absolutely. Yeah, currently the county is collecting that fee, and the Attorney General came down and said basically cities can either collect that fee or so allow the county to do that. There's no other good option for us to provide child safety incentives other than what the county's doing. It would take enormous manpower and enormous effort of a program to take that fee in as a city ourselves and then utilize it effectively for our kids. So I would be full support of just continuing to do what we already do and allowing the county to spend those funds on child safety as we can offer the same programs that they can.
Are they offering child safety here that you know of so far?
I don't know if their program is not.
Okay, I agree that you have more availability with the county, in the city, but we need to make sure that they're either coming to school to do a job safety for pre-K and kindergarten parents and stuff too, during PTA meetings or even high school level too, driving, so. Yeah, I agree with keeping the money in the county because they can spend it a little bit better than
Right.
availability.
I think this is a fairly new thing that just came across our table, so I haven't had a chance to reach out and see, what their plans are as far as spending that money. But they're currently receiving the money, it's not changing and giving them something that they're not already getting. So we just need to be that voice that says, hey, we're going to approve you to continue to collect this money for our city, but we want to see some return in that. And working those relationships in the future to make sure we get the best return for them.
And the agencies are actually enumerated in here of the agencies that they are giving the money to. CASA, which is an organization that has court paid for people that go and represent children in court actions for various things. Family Crisis Center, which is, anytime there's an issue of domestic violence or child abuse or otherwise, they step in. And then the last one is the Children Advocacy Center, which is an organization that if there's a victim that's a child, they go there and they access services. It also is quasi law enforcement because they actually do interviews of children who have been abused, molested.
They do the forensic interview.
That's exactly right. The three agencies that they're giving the money to right now, we would have no objections to. They're all three wonderful organizations, and I can't say that we could ever match the same level of services that the counties are raising money to.
In addition to that, the Child Advocacy Center has paid a $600 fee to send Sergeant Villarreal to the Crimes Against Children's Conference in Dallas. And that was all on their money, and they gave us a scholarship for that, so that they are participating with us in, sending our officers to training.
It also should be noted that the code allows the county to accept administrative fees. If they're going to be managing the money, they get to charge a fee for that. They've never done that, and for this, they're also waiving that as well. They want all of that money, instead of it for administrative purposes to go to the county, they're actually doing that. A lot of counties are accepting that 10% fee and they're collecting that money. Johnson County is doing the right thing and letting the money flow to the agencies that really need it.
How long is this interlocal agreement good for?
It's a good question, Mayor.
Thank you. Come up with one every once in a while.
I think it's until terminated, until one of the parties on either side says, we don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, that's what it says in section 3.
So it's not limited to a year or 5 years?
And we would not terminate except for some crazy, random.
I was wondering how often we needed to do this.
And as Chief said, I think this is something that was just happening without our buy-in, but now the Attorney General is saying, hey, the city's got to approve it, and we're just, from a formalistic standpoint, just passing it for that formality.
Any additional questions or comments? Then I'll open the floor for a motion to approve the interlocal cooperative agreement with Johnson County concerning an optional child safety fee. Optional child safety fee.
I'll make a motion to approve interlocal cooperative agreement with Johnson County concerning a possible child safety fee.
Have a motion by Councilman Wood, second.
I'll second that motion.
Second by Ms. Prezak, all in favor? All in favor, no opposed, motion carries. Number 9. Well, we want to officially accept and approve the written resignation of City of Venus City Administrator April Stowe. Is there any questions or comments? Now I need a motion to approve the written resignation of City Administrator April Stowe.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion by
I'll make a
Councilwoman
motion.
Dean Scott, second.
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Fernandez, all in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries. And presentation of the monthly department reports. Police Chief, you're up first.
And if you guys have a copy of our monthly police department report, calls for service, we responded to 83 calls for service incidents, reports where we took significant reports, 32, arrests were 4, accidents were 4, traffic stops and contacts were 328, citations issued 132, we issued warnings on 185. I'd just like to note on the brief calls, we did work the major bus accident with Alvarado ISD. That ended up being a big project with multiple agents responding. Thankfully, there were no children seriously injured in that. But I'd like to reach out to say thank you to Midlothian, who sent their police forward over to shoot the accident scene, which means they used photographic equipment to measure distances and things, which really helps out on our reporting. So I appreciate their ability to do that for us. The other thing is, all of us in law enforcement, our lives have changed a little bit over the last week. And we just want to say thank you to our community so much for attending the prayer vigil and being a part of what Venus is doing. Also, we've had a number of people reach out with cards or cookies or drinks being by the PD, and that means a lot to the officers, being able to say that we serve a community that really appreciates what we're doing. And I just want to say thank you to everyone in our community for doing that.
Thank you, Chief. I guess the fire chief must be busy tonight.
Yes, he might be.
He may be on the call.
His report is in there. I won't go speak significantly about the numbers in there, but he continues to be a pretty vital part of the city.
Yes, they are. Well, then we'll move along to the public works. Cedar Roca.
Well, we're done with the better block, the guys help out and set up everything and coordinate with the April neighbors here. We did a little work on 2nd Street by the corner here. We were having issues when it rained, the water takes forever to dry out. And I don't know how to fix that completely, but we managed this time around. The contract with Reynolds Paving to fix, to get the roads Walnut Street and those 3 streets in Middle Ridge 1 is done, and they give me a schedule that they were going to put us at the end of the month of July because of the rain that we had. But I got an email last Friday saying that they moved it, like they're going to start next week. So that's even better. So I think that's a good news. We finished the parking area over there on 5th Street by the park. We're going to need more road base there to make it bigger, but that's going to come out later. We still have to work some of the drainage. One thing here on the street repairs, we're not going to be able to do 3rd Street, the little section there from Hickory all the way to the end of the street, because our funding is not going to be enough. We have to pay for a lot of testing and inspections, So that's what I put that little note in there, so just for you all to be aware. One of the streets that you picked, it was 3rd Street, and Walnut. But we're not going to be able to do 3rd Street.
So all we're going to do is just Walnut.
We're going to do Walnut, Newfield, Ridge Hollow, and Fairfield.
Fairfield.
Yeah.
So we're going to get the 3 cross streets in.
Yeah, we're going to finish.
1 and Walnut.
Right, we're going to finish at Middle Ridge 1, which that should be completed anyway. The water line that we extended from Hickory, on 3rd Street, from Hickory going west to Pine, all the way to 4th Street, the west, will be the north side of 4th Street, south side of 4th Street. We completed, we put a fire hydrant there, and it's online. We got those 5 water taps for the new homes there. And we got the, also, of course, the sewer, we already done the sewer. We put 4 new meters because they're already starting 4 homes over there on Pine Street. And we done our meeting, our monthly, flushing, testing, and all the stuff that it goes along. A couple months ago, I asked for y'all to think about, if you allow me to plug or cap the wells over there at the prison. I finally got a price on both of them. It's going to be about $20,000 because they have to pull the pumps out. And just to get the pumps out is about $3,000 per well. And, the materials and the things that they have to do to cap it.
So is it 20 apiece or?
No, 20,000 for both. It's about 10,000. That's kind of a high estimate, but that's more or less what it's going to fall into. And that's all I have.
All right. Cedar, I'd like to also say thank you for you and your crew. Y'all got the flags out for the 4th of July and made the square look very nice. I appreciate appreciate it. Well, I guess we're back to you, Chief.
Back to me. Hey, also I wanted to mention, since Ms. Warner is here, the school district did approve to have the SRO, Steve Dill, back at the school for this next fiscal year, so we're very thankful to them. It's a great position to have. Also, we received, it's not a lot of money, but it's a little over $1,000 grant to enforce tobacco regulations here in the city, and which will help us, do some stings and things like that, making sure those tobacco stores aren't selling to minors. And we were just awarded that grant yesterday, or last weekend, so I wanted to put that out to you guys. It's a big win for us, help regulate that. And the city report, Waters, Volmer, and Associates completed the final draft of the fiscal year 2015 audit report. The city staff met with public management regarding the local park grant contract that you guys were aware of. Executive staff has began meeting on the fiscal year budget, which will begin having workshops next month in order to come up with our final budget for September. And so far, there's been a really smooth transition. I know Ms. Glenn and Caesar and myself have been working as a team to make sure we fill in for April's absence until we appoint a city administrator. And I really appreciate their input on things, and the whole staff from line level all the way up to the managers are doing a really good job working as a team unit on that. So.
Thank you, Chief. Discussion in executive session for substantial amount of time. I'm going to open the floor for a motion on the city administrator's position.
I'd like to make a motion, try to do it right. Make a motion to move forward with the chief as the city administrator / chief of police also.
So you want to appoint him as city administrator?
Yes, sir.
/ chief of police,
Yes, sir.
effective tonight.
Effective tonight.
At what rate of pay?
At the,
April
at,
starts.
well,
At the
this,
city administrator's current rate?
yes,
of pay.
at the city administrator's current pay.
All right. That's motion by Councilman Mayor Pro Tem Dady. You have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilwoman Scott. All in favor? Opposed? Abstained? 4 in favor, 1 abstention. Councilman Woods. None opposed. Motion carries.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we appreciate you
Thank you.
so very much.
And with that, we'll adjourn the meeting at 9:50.